All right, negligence is one of, well, negligence is probably the most important tort. That and defamation, but negligence is used very much the most often. Medical malpractice is a form of negligence. Legal malpractice is a form of negligence. So I gave it its own little slide and its own short little video. So here is your definition. It's the same as with all other torts, right? And here's your test. Now, the test requires that the plaintiff prove all four elements, as you know. The really tricky one is number 3. So, for example, let's say that I am an employee of a train company of Amtrak, and I am walking on the tracks, or walking next to the tracks, trying to make sure that the people stay safe. So I definitely have a duty of care to make sure people don't get hit by train tracks. A fight breaks out, and a person is knocked onto the train tracks. I run over there, but the train comes and kills that person before I can save that person and get him off the track safely. Did I breach my duty? Maybe, maybe not. I do have the duty to keep him safe, but I can't be everywhere at once and I can't prevent it. But am I the factual cause? Did my conduct cause the injury? No. The conduct of the two people fighting, the victim and the other person, is what caused the injury in that case. So factual cause was my conduct the direct result of the case? There's another case where a manufacturer made a jewelry case. And the jewelry case had some pointy design on it. It had a star that had little points. And while that jewelry case was made, it was sent to the store. And while the clerk at the store was putting it on the shelf, the clerk had a disease, had a form of streptococcus that goes on the skin. And she pricked herself with that design on one of those cases, and that disease, the blood that she bled onto the case and had that disease on the case. Then a man buys that jewelry box for his lovely wife. The wife pricks herself in the same place, acquires the disease. This is an actual case. And then they sue, the husband and the wife sue the manufacturer for the injury. The woman had to have her finger amputated, actually. Does the defendant have a duty of care? Sure, jewelry box case makers have a duty to ensure that the products they make are not dangerous. Did the defendant breach the duty? Yes, the little pointy star can poke you. Was there a factual cause? Did the defendant's conduct cause the injury? No. The injury was caused by the clerk at the store, not by the maker of the jewelry box. Was there an injury? Yes. The woman had to have her finger amputated. So in that case, negligence was not found because the plaintiff has to prove all four elements. Here are some additions. Failure to warn is a type of negligence. It's not a separate rule, it's just a type. Failure to warn is if you have a duty to warn. So that's why scissors say, caution, these can cut you. You have the duty to warn. Negligence per se is just when a state has created a statute that says if you engage in this behavior, we call it negligence. Negligent design is when we go back to the jewelry box. A negligent design is if they had designed that jewelry case to have these very pointy star. A negligent manufacturer is if the design had said that the star will have rounded edges and won't be sharp and pointy, but when they decided to make it, it would be easier to make it with the pointy edges, so then they made it that way. And the limitations to negligence. These are things the defendant can say. So the defendant is guilty of negligence in this case, but she still has the ability to lessen the damages. Contributory negligence says if the plaintiff is even 1% at risk, no negligence occurred. That standard exists in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Comparative negligence is if they're both somewhat responsible, then we just decrease the damages award. Comparative negligence is what we have here in Colorado. So if I'm driving down the street in the rain and I'm going 15 miles an hour over, and another driver fails to stop at the stop sign and comes out into the intersection and we have an accident. Well, it's the other driver's fault, but I have some comparative negligence. I was driving 15 miles over the speed limit in the rain. And then the damages, so if I sue for negligence on the part of the other party who didn't stop, my damages award will be decreased by the amount, the percentage of fault the jury finds me to be. And there you go. That's negligence for you.